All right, guys, the intro's playing now. That means we got about 30 seconds to a minute before we go live on the radio. You can tune in to 103.9 WYAB here in Central Mississippi or stream live at WYAB.com. Of course, if you got to go to work, whatever, can't listen to the whole show, the podcast will be available on all major podcasting platforms. If you can't remember or don't know how to do that, just go to ClayEdwardsShow.com and hit podcast at the top. And the most recent 5 podcasts are right there on the home page, too. So, and buy a shirt, Make Jackson Great Again. They'll be available today. Here we go. Turn up the volume and get ready, Jackson, for unfiltered, no sugar added talk radio. It's award-winning. Good morning, Jackson, Mississippi, and all surrounding areas. You've tuned in to the free-range human show of choice, your daily dose of reality radio. It starts now. This is the Clay Edwards Show. I am, of course, Clay Edwards, and we are live. Let me get the word right this morning on 103.9 WYAB. We're streaming worldwide at WYAB.com. And I am on Facebook again this morning with my Make Jackson Great Again t-shirt. I heard Kim say it yesterday and it inspired me to bust a shirt out of my closet. When I first started the Save Jackson page, I decided that maybe people might want to buy a shirt. Some of you have, some of you hadn't, but I made a bunch of different shirts, long story short, and the Make Jackson Great Again was one of the shirts I made. So I took it off the marketplace, the store that I have, but I posted a picture of it last night. Everybody's like, I want that shirt. So we're going to add that shirt back to the Save Jackson store there. I'll share the link out on the Facebook page. But anyway, we are streaming live on the Facebook page at SaveJXN. I went by my barber yesterday. Shout out to Jonathan Boone at California Concepts in Pearl. He hooked the brother up, got the beard trimmed up, got my sides faded up. You know, ain't nothing like a South Jackson fade, man. I remember going into Bobby's Cut Above back in the day on McDowell Road. Bobby, just take a little off the top. Everybody walked out with the same day one Marine haircut at Bobby's Cut. Bobby knew one haircut. High and tight. All the way high and tight. And I got my Bobby's Cut Above mojo going this morning. But shout out to Big Boone there. I did a video yesterday. My barber, he's been my barber the last 5-6 years or so. I met him through a buddy of mine, Bennett. And it's like, man, I need somebody on this side of town that cuts my hair. My buddy Tony Yelverton out in Madison cut it forever. But I'm just never out in Madison. And it's just a long way to go to get a haircut. But shout out to Tony too, man. He cut my hair for years and years and years. And it's weird switching barbers because it's almost you feel like you're cheating on your wife or something, because a good barber that'll get you in when you need in and take care of your hair. I'm sure women can relate, you know, with their hairdressers and stylists and stuff like that. A good barber's hard to replace, and I've been blessed to have back-to-back great, consistent, reliable barbers. And you know, at the end of the day, you just got to go where it's the most convenient for you. But anyway, shout out to my barber. Got me looking nice this morning. I was thinking about real quick, a little bit of house cleaning. One more thing, and I promise it's gonna be the last day you'll have to hear me talk about it because the party's tomorrow. But if you're looking for something to do tomorrow night, I'm having a birthday party for myself, my buddy Daryl, Dirty D, Daryl Arnold, and Trevor Palmer. We're doing a little triple threat birthday bash out at Back Porch 471, right there in Brandon on Highway 471, across from the all-new Ellis Autoplex. You can't miss it. Chad Horton has had that place for a while. We've done a couple fundraisers out there since I've started this show. Everybody knows where Back Porch 471 is. If you don't, hit me up and I will get you directions. But 7 p.m., Charade Unplugged is going to be playing live. We're just going to be hanging out, having a good time. No cover charge. All ages welcome. Bring your kids if you need to. Don't let that be a deterrent, not being able to get a babysitter, because the children are welcome. We're going to have a good time. It should be family friendly. I can't make any promises, but no, we're going to have a good time. Hope to meet everybody out there. That's my 45th birthday party tomorrow night out at Back Porch 471. Again, no cover charge. This is just a free thing, man. Just wanted to put something together nice for everybody. Come out and have a good time and kind of get away from all the troubles of the world and get ready for the week or end the week nicely, however you want to say it. One more thing. I talked about this yesterday. My friend Chad Wesley, my brother from another mother, Chad Wesley, released a new album yesterday called Soul rock. And I got to listen to it. I've listened to it back and forth, front and back, at least 3 times now. And that's the way it's intended to play. You start it at the beginning on track 1, the intro, and play it all the way through. And I would tell you, there's a song that jumps out at me called Drown. There's another song called Living. Anyway, Drown could possibly be one of the best songs that I've heard in the last 20 years. It is going to be the soundtrack to a million breakups and makeups over the next few years. I mean, it's got that classic, just power ballad kind of vibe to it, but it doesn't sound dated at all. It just sounds classic. Y'all are going to love it, man. Go download Chad's new album today, Soul Rock by Chad Wesley. It is absolutely phenomenal. And he'll be in concert tomorrow night, too, out there at Georgia Blue. All right, so last night I was sitting around and I got to thinking about some stuff. I was looking at my mentions, and I rarely do that because it's nothing but negativity on my Instagram posts. But every now and then I like to get in there and look at the mentions, the death threats, the chaos, just what are people saying about me? And every now and then people will tag me and post. Those are like the only notifications I get is when somebody tags me in a post. I don't get comment notifications because it just goes crazy all the time. But somebody had decided to share a video of mine about the 10 most messed up things in Jackson, Mississippi right now. And so why is this guy always talking trash about this city? This is garbage. So I just sent him a message back and I just thanked him for sharing my video. And he says, you're garbage. And I just left it at that. But it got me to thinking. And I've brought this up before. If you followed the Save Jackson profile, Facebook for a while, something that really grinds my gears is this positive solutions only crowd. It's in the intro to my show, and I've talked about it for years. Somehow in Jackson, these Democrats have come to this conclusion that you can justify all the chaos, death, destruction, drug dealing, killing, #1 in STDs, no garbage pickup, no water, all this. You can justify that by simply not talking about it. If you don't have a solution for it, don't talk about it. Well, I grew up being told that knowing you have a problem is half the problem. You have to admit you have a problem so you can fix the problem. So I just look at things and say, hey, we got a problem here. This is the problem. I may not have a #positive solution only, but I do know that there's a problem and I can point out what the problem is. We all know what the problem is. We're just not allowed to say it. We all know what the problem in Jackson, Mississippi is. But I just get to thinking, how is it worse to be the messenger? How is the guy talking about what's going on worse than the people doing it? Y'all hold me more accountable, or attempt to. Y'all attempt to hold me more accountable, or you hold me to a higher standard. Let's say that. Then you hold the people out there destroying the city from the inside out. The politicians, the drug dealers, the killers, the sexually transmitted disease carrying folks that won't go get tested that are spreading it to more and more people. The crackheads, and I know y'all hate this word. I know y'all hate it. The bums. That's right, I said it. The bums. Parked at the dang red lights, bumming people for money. I tell you what, I am not a cashless society person. I fear going to a cashless society. But if that'll take some money out of those bums' plates, out of their bowls, out of their offering plate, then I'm cool with it. I'm just gonna say it now. If I don't have to get accosted at the dang red light anymore for money because everything's on plastic, that may be the one upside to going plastic. But these bums, because most of them are fake bums, they're just gonna, first off, they're gonna have their smartphone. They've already got it. They've already got their iPhones in their pocket. Somebody said vagrants. I call them bums. Vagrants, whatever. They bumming for money. So they're a bum. You're not vagranting for money. You're bumming for money. So you're a bum. But you know, one of these innovative fools is going to get a square. You know, the little things where you can take digital payments on your phone with your debit card. Or they'll be out there just holding up their sign with their Venmo or Cash App. Can't work today. Cash App me. Homeless veteran. Can't work. Cash App me. You know that's coming. Hell, it's probably already here. It's probably already here. Let's see, man. I don't always get to read the comments on the Facebook, but we got a comment here. It says, your page is pretty informative. I appreciate it. I don't even mind the agree to disagree as long as they are respectful in doing so. But you are telling the exact truth. A bum is a bum, period. And that is from Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. Somebody agreed with me on Facebook. I don't get that all the time. So, to my point, though, and I didn't mean to even hone in on the bums and vagrants. What I'm talking about is just the sheer chaos. I'm the bad guy for bringing it up. And I don't mind being the bad guy. I don't mind being the bad guy at all. I'll be the villain in this role. I'll play it well. You know, somebody told me years ago, or I read somewhere years ago, you either die young enough to be remembered as a hero or you live long enough to become a villain. Well, I'm in the villain stage right now. And I do think there's a point where you circle back into becoming a hero. Because let me tell you what, man, I get a lot of messages. And I got a phone call off the air yesterday from a guy. We were talking about comedians and black comedians and how most of them have sold out with the exception of Dave Chappelle. And he says, he called off air to say, it's called, Hollywood calls it, put the dress on them. You got to put the dress on. And he's dead on right. You got to put the dress on. But this guy told me, he said, man, I just wanted to let you know. I used to hate the show. Now I love it. And I love that. You know, I like people who can stick through it and say, okay, I'm growing with this guy. I see what he's saying now. I had another guy yesterday, over the last couple of days. Our conversation started out kind of funny. He had sent me something talking about the Anthony Fox GoFundMe and how it had gotten taken down. And I was telling him about another money-giving donation platform called Give, Send, Go. I said, it's conservative-friendly. I just assumed this guy was a conservative because he was talking about trying to raise money for the police. And but I stereotyped. He said, bro, I'm not a conservative. I said, okay, well, we'll say police-friendly then. And anyway, fast forward a little bit into that conversation. Then he tells me, man, I used to think you were full of crap. I used to think you were just bashing Jackson and bashing Hinds County for the sake of doing it. He said, but now I see, you know, I don't want to quote him here, so I'm just going to kind of just say roundabout here. He said, you've opened my eyes. This Anthony Fox thing, what happened in Hinds County, what happened in Judge Wooten's courtroom, you opened my eyes that you're not making this stuff up. You're not just bashing Jackson. And I was like, man, another winning somebody else over. I had a black buddy of mine on Instagram not too long ago, last week, 2 weeks ago, a guy that you'd have never confused as a Republican. You know, like he kind of fits the profile of, like what you would say, a Jackson drug dealer. I'm just going to be honest about it. Like if you had to stereotype, my buddy looks like a Jackson drug dealer. Acts like one sometimes too. But he sent me a message. And he said, Clay, I just want you to know, after watching your videos and listening to the show and following the podcast and all this stuff, and I was blown away. I didn't know he was doing this stuff. He said, I've been studying what you're doing. That's scary. But he said, I want you to know that I am now a Trump supporter. I am now a Republican. I almost fell down. Because we always say, if I can change just one, if I can save just one person from this chaos, then I'm doing the right thing. You know, we always say, if we can save just one kid from abortion, if we can save just one person from poverty, I felt like that was my just one. It was amazing. It was a great feeling because if I'm getting through to this guy, how many other people am I getting through to? We were at the McLean's breakfast the other day. And y'all know I joke around about this TikTok stuff. But we were at the McLean breakfast the other day and a fellow walked up to me and said, hey man, I just want to thank you for doing the stuff on social media you do and trying to talk to these younger generation, posting on TikTok and places like that and Instagram, because my son heard one of your stuff and he now listens to your show every day, and he's getting a dose of reality. And man, that just made me feel great, because that's look, I can sit here and go and be living in an echo chamber and talk to angry 40-year-old white folks all day about taxes or conservatives, not just white folks, but conservatives all day. But that's just an echo chamber. We're not changing anybody's mind. We're not doing anything. But when I've got the younger generation, 20-year-olds listening, and we're able to help mold young minds, not like the way the Democrat groomers do, but actually mold young minds to be good, responsible adults. And I've got black Democrats reaching out saying I'm now a Trump supporter. I think we've done that. All right, look, man, we're going to take our first break. Then we're going to open the phone lines up. We'll be right back on the Clay Edwards Show on 103.9 WYAB. All right, guys. I appreciate that, man. I really do appreciate y'all tuning in this morning. We're taking our commercial break here. You can tune in live at WYAB.com, 103.9 FM, and the podcast will be available shortly. Y'all stay safe out there. It's the weekend in Jackson, as Kim Wade calls it. It's the Gun and Knife Club starts in earnest at 6 p.m. or 5 p.m. really. But y'all stay safe, man, and hey, come out to the birthday party Saturday night at 471. Tomorrow night starts at 7. Back Porch 471 in Brandon. It's going to be a great time, no cover charge. We'd love to see everybody. If you got any questions, shoot me a message. If you see anything crazy in Jackson, snap a picture, send a video, DM it to me. You can stay anonymous if you want. Stay safe.